Oh, all right, Gerry, we're live. I'm sorry for the delay, folks. I was just trying to get the portfolio up, trying to give some people some wrenches, and so they don't bang me over the head with them. Of course, yeah, I gave them a wrench, so now they can bang me over the head with it now. But Thumper's got a wrench. Rebecca's got a wrench. Um, if you didn't know, Thumper, which is the guest last week, started a YouTube channel. So he's in the chat here, Financial Options with Thumper, and he got his first video out. So he is now officially a slave for the rest of his life. Here is his link right here to his channel. So go show Thumper some love, and he literally already has like 27 subs or something like that. It took me like a year to get that. So what a great month, right? I ended up the month 2.4% up, little over $6,000. And year to date, I'm up 11.8% year to date. So, and that is actually, I believe that's actually underperforming the market just slightly, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think the market's up like 12 or something, right? Or do you know, Gerry?
Shoot, I didn't get that.
I got it here. It's actually, take that back. I'm outperforming the market. There you go, Kyle. Shout out to you, buddy. Just barely outperform the market. But is the market going to return 44% by the end of the year? If you take 11% times it by 4, probably not, right? Am I going to make 44% by the end of the year? It's possible that I could, right? I doubt the market will do it. But at the same time, 11.8%, I am outperforming the market. That's pretty good. It can only go up from here. I guess it could go down too, but I can make money if the market's flat. I can make money if the market's going down, as long as it doesn't go down too fast, or just go straight down. But that's pretty good. I was pretty surprised I was able to get $6,000 out of April. I had to get a little bit more aggressive on my strikes, and also go out a little bit. I don't know, just get a little more aggressive. I'd say I wouldn't say that I was. Actually, I'd almost say that I was kind of being conservative on buying power. Although right now at this time, like literally right now, I'm at 56% used, buying power used, but. Pretty good month so far. So let's see how May goes. I got quite a bit of shit on for May already. Already looking to take some shit off, as Gerry likes to say. So Gerry, why don't you recap your April and maybe year to date as well. And then we also have a guest that's sitting in the background right now. We got Stock Ninja that's sitting back there. So we'll get Stock Ninja on here in about 10 minutes or so. So cue up those questions. Let it rip, Gerry.
April was great. April was actually great. I think it was my best month ever, to be honest with you. Of course, I don't have my year-to-date pulled up, but April showing a return of 6.94% for the month.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I guess that's what happens when you're spending all day long in front of the computer. But ended up the week at about $616 net profit. For the month, slightly over 3,700. So, really good month. Got some things coming up in May that should be. I got cooking. I'm really using about 45% right now. I could probably take a few things off and get May really, started off with a bang. But yeah, I couldn't be more happier for April, to be honest with you. May might be, I don't know. Futures are up right now, so
yeah, we have no idea.
I just keep doing what I'm doing as long as it's working. If I can keep getting, I don't, I always say this, but I don't expect to be performing the way that I'm performing. 2% a month, I'd be fine with, but if I can squeeze out 1% or 2 or 4 more, then why not? Am I being a little more risky? Probably. I would say I'm between Dave Safe and Thumper Aggressive, somewhere in between there. But it's I try to maximize what's available to me as far as positions are concerned. So I'm happy.
A question for you. Have you ever used performance enhancing drugs?
No,
I'm just kidding.
never have.
I mean, that's pretty impressive returns. 6%. Like you literally doubled almost 2.5 times what I did. And I know we were talking last week or so, and I was kind of like, okay, what are you doing that's different than me? Because you say you're pretty Dave safe, but and honestly, I've become semi Dave safe in the last month just because premium kind of dried up a little bit. So I say I've become, around the 10% probably in the money on some stuff, not everything. And your thing is you're looking at buying power or maintenance margin used and kind of maximizing that. And I was looking at that today, like on all my positions and QQQs and SPYs that take a boatload up. And I mean, I got quite a few contracts on, but the TQQQs don't take up anything. It's like, well, I could go all the way out to September and put 10 of those on. It would be less than 2 contracts for what SPY's taking. It's like, what is going on here, So I might try to employ a little bit of what you're doing there and maximize my buying power a little bit. Because honestly, I don't ever look at that at all. All I care about the buying power used, and that's it. I don't try to maximize my maintenance margin at all. If that's getting 2.5 times what I'm getting, that's something I need to look at. You know what I mean? So you're like the king of that. I'm going to be looking for you to, give me some pointers because I never really even look at that. So
I just look at it. It's from being from a smaller portfolio position, trying to max. And this is really the advantage of using a margin account like IB that gives you 4-to-1 buying power. Because without it, I would not be able to do what I do. Absolutely. But it's really about looking at the maintenance margin. For instance, the one example I have is a put I sold early May for Vizio. I think it was like a $17.50 strike. Sold 2 contracts. It only took up about $550 in maintenance margin, and it gave me $130 in premium. So that's where you're seeing a little things where you can't even sell a Pepsi put at $120. That'll take up $1,200 in margin and probably give you 30-40 cents, right? So that's where I try to maximize the efficiency of using that maintenance margin.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that. I'm writing a script now. We were just talking before we got on, but I'm writing a script now to check the maintenance margin before, so I can just kind of run through a bunch of stuff and get that information real quick. Because in IAB, and honestly, it's not very easy. You got to pull up every one of them, and maybe it's a little easier than we probably think. But it would be nice to be able to just run it in the background or whatever, and just have it check everything I need to check. But I'm also because right now you can just go into IAB and go to risk analysis or something like that, and it'll show you the IAB. The maintenance margin for every one of your positions. But yeah. So that's something I'm going to look at doing. Let me do some shout outs here, and then we'll get Stock Ninja on here. Rebecca, I know you're in the Discord, and we've been trying to help you out. And I mean, Gerry luckily has got Fidelity, and he's kind of saying it might be tough to do what we're trying to do. We'll get you into something, but I don't want to just say, hey, let's get you into something for sake of getting something. Let's get you in something that we all feel comfortable with. And, we're not going to, there's no stress there. You don't, you're not going to be up during the day. If that makes any sense. Okay. Let's see. We got Thumper, which we'll give him another shout out at the end of the stream as well. We got Gino. We got Jerry's wife in the house. We got Rumpelstiltskin here. Futures up, 0.5%. We'll see where they end up at 140 points right now. So Biden must have kept his mouth shut. Let's go, guys. Let's see here. All good. Good evening, Davey and GW. Ready for? Yeah, we're ready. We're kicking it. Backstage, yeah, we're scrambling. Hit the like button. Yeah, go and hit it. I don't know if it helps, but they say it does, so I don't know. We got no. You're just in time. You might have missed like the first 5 minutes, which we gave all of our returns and all that stuff. Yeah, you sub to Thumper and saying, yeah, no problem, man. We got clowning around. What's up? He's all over the place. Is it he or she? I have no idea, but it's all over the place. So we got let me see. We got Rebecca, the other Rebecca, in the house. She's getting ready to fire as well. We got Mikaru. That's my quote unquote Catwoman. So got James in the house here. Hey guys, great live chat or live cast. Yeah, we make a great team. Luckily, we got Gerry here. He's the beauty and the beast, and the brain. So let's see what else we got. Oh man, I can't even get to the bottom here, Gerry. Jeez. We got Sky Investor in the house. Yeah, I did. I gave you a wrench. You got a wrench now. So does Thumper as well. Sauce, is that one new, Gerry?
That one's new, I think.
Yeah, I sold a 15 put on MVIS, which I don't know which it is, thinking it wouldn't drop 30%. If it dropped 30%, it's got to be a pretty small cap. Let me see, MVIS Microvision.
Yeah, what is that?
2.8 billion. Oh man, it's. I wonder if that was a Wall Street bet stock. 181. It's only up 4,200% in the last year or so. It wouldn't be something I'd touch.
Looks like it was a earnings.
But he's already in it at this point, so
that's why we don't do earnings.
Yeah, I don't know. Join the Discord. We might be able to help you out.
For sure.
Randy's Discord. One of the mods, please put the Randy's Discord in the chat, please. I want to, yeah. So welcome, James. I know you're new to options. Like I said, go to Randy's Discord. We'll put it in the chat here. It's also down in the description as well. And we can talk more about that stuff offline because that, I mean, it might be one there's just, you just might want to get out of. I don't know. I mean, whatever put money. Okay, so I got down to the bottom here. I'll try to get back to these, but let's go ahead and bring Stock Ninja on. He's been waiting. It's past his bedtime, so let's see if I can do this. That's better. Stock Ninja, man, I don't even recognize you. Covering up your head, huh?
And I didn't even know you wore glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
He's muted.
Yeah, I wear glasses. I wear contacts, but they were bothering me, so I just put on some glasses.
So Stock Ninja used to have a channel, and he still does. He's still got videos out there. They're not options videos, but he, just decided it wasn't worth the time, and because honestly, it's a lot of time. And he got into options and killed it in options, and then said, "Screw this crap. This ain't making any money." So options, I'm literally ready to fire and quit my job and all that. So tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, we've had you on the stream before. And I'm, glad that you actually decided to show your face now. Show us your face. So tell us, a little bit about your background, because maybe some people are new here, forgot or whatever, didn't go back and watch that video. Tell us how your April's going or went, and then tell us also, how you went year to date so far.
Yeah. So last time, I was on, I think a few months. Like, you guys been doing this for a while now, right? It's been like a few months. Yeah. So I was on one of the earlier episodes, but basically I've been trading. I've been investing for about 10 years, and honestly, it really took off, I would say, last year once I found dividend investing. But just like with expanded knowledge, you also find your range and comfort zone in terms of what you want to trade. And for me, I felt like options trading is the best way to go. As far as April returns, I believe I'm up 4%. And hey, let me pull it up real quick. Year to date, I am up, I think 18. Yeah, 18%.
Destroying the market.
Yeah, it's not really a goal of mine. It just kind of
Yeah.
happens. I'll
And
take
you're
it.
pretty aggressive too, or you were. You're not anymore.
No, not anymore.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm very. I would say I'm pretty closer to Dave Safe than Randy, by far.
you might even be
Yeah.
more safe than I am at this point.
I would second that.
I would rather just go out further in time to get a better strike price because I'm willing to sit and wait as opposed to just trying to squeeze out premium like week by week. It just wasn't working for me.
So how much of that 18% was what? I'm sorry, what was your percentage up in April again?
4%.
4%. Okay. So how much of that was actually long leaps?
Probably 70. I would say 70.
Wow. Okay. So you're really playing that game, and that's a whole nother ball game. You might be able to do just a stream on that, or maybe I don't know. I mean, that's just a different. Did you have any intentions in all those long leaps to actually do PMCCs, or no, not at all?
Some of them, I think. I would say like your blue chip dividend stocks that get into long leaps. I tend to look for PMCC opportunities because they're not as volatile. Like a Snow, for example, I wouldn't put a short call on it because you can just take off, and you might, as three of us have
If it's above
experienced,
your break even, then you're fine, right?
it is, but I feel like with the hyper growth stocks, just leaving it and seeing it just takes one day where it just goes up like crazy and everyone hops on the train. And having a short call, yeah, you don't really lose, but at the same time you're kind of capping the profits. But for blue chip dividend stocks, long leaps, I usually look for the short call.
So I made like 1,200, I think, last week. And honestly, I got into a KMB right at the bottom, like the 52-week low. I bought 2 leaps, right? 2-year leap, and didn't put the short call on. And like it only made a 2% move up, and it was $500. So there's some major power there. And I'm not really going to. I'm basically just like you. I'm going to stand to like some very large cap or conglomerate. I don't even know how to say it, Gerry. Conglomerate stocks, right? Dividend kings, aristocrats, the J&Js, the PGs of the world. If I'm going to be buying leaps, that doesn't mean I wouldn't buy a leap on something else like CCL or something like that. But for what I'm doing here, because we all got stuck in KMB earlier this year, right? Like
We did, but that's why we go for the 2-year leaps because we know it's going to turn around, and it did. It did, and lo and behold, it tanked on earnings and literally rinse and repeat just 3 months later. So
it's just another tool in the tool shed. That's the way to look at it, right? And
Yep.
I mean, I know last time we talked about the Broku. We probably don't even need to mention this. Well, I already mentioned it, but
let's just not talk about getting.
so
broken.
if anybody's new here, he had a big loss earlier this year. And if you just go look back at the other stock ninja, it's like this first or second guess or something like that, right? I think maybe the second, right? Go back and look at that video, and he talks about that whole saga, and that kind of made him have some new rules and get kind of, Dave ultra safe or something like that, right? And I mean, you're super safe now on your strikes. You're pretty safe on the stocks you're picking. But what's more interesting is you're like really safe on your buying power now, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for what I guess is called capital efficiency. Like the more money you can make risking less dollars, that's like the ultimate goal, right? I learned about this. I was watching some YouTube video. I forget what, but basically, this is what hedge funds do. A lot of people complain or love to mention hedge funds underperform the stock market, but they don't understand that hedge funds only use very small allocation of their entire portfolio to get close to the market return. If you can do that, I mean, you're golden because your risk profile is so low. I'm trying to find that, or my golden ratio, I guess, for that, to hit that 2% sweet spot and using as very little money as possible in any way I can.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. managing your downside is really important. And I think, not to talk about an ETF, but I think that's where NUSI comes into play. Managing that downside will allow you to outperform, but in the options area, it allows you to maximize your efficiency, like you said. And that's kind of like how I'm doing, sort of, with my maximizing the return on my buying power. So
they use a protected put, right?
Right.
Yeah, I was looking. I think we talked about this offline, about how I was trying to have like what's called a drag on your portfolio. It's basically having like protected puts, exactly what NUSI does. It's a smart way of doing it, because, for example, if you're like 100% invested in SPY, and then the market drops 30%, like, where are you going to get the cash from? That's where that protected put really kicks in. It also like balances your downside, plus gives you some cash that you can reinvest into like big names.
Yeah, I get it. Are you still doing that now? I mean,
no, that was my next point. I stopped doing it because initially what I was doing was I had a dividend portfolio, which I was then using as leverage on IB to then trade options. And it's not the best strategy, because like once things go badly in your options, then they start liquidating positions. You could lose a lot of money really fast. And it happened to, I think, Matt, right, a friend of ours. And I was just like, oh, okay, no, this is not gonna happen. So I think it's just better to have an either dividend or straight up options portfolio. It made sense when I had 100% dividend portfolio, which I was leveraging, right? Because I needed that downside protection. But now I'm like, I would say, 100% cash is and very few long positions, and just some leaps and options.
Before we get to, because we will go through all the questions that are in the chat, so don't worry. I mean, I'm not gonna forget about you. You just mentioned, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, about maximizing your capital utilization or something like that. Are you doing basically what Gerry's doing? Are you looking at the maintenance margin for every one you're putting on, or what are you doing there?
So it's a little bit different for, I would say, because Gerry's portfolio is like a bit smaller, right? So he's the way he's utilizing, or the way he's doing it, is more just looking for the best return, the safest return, with the least amount of buying power used. For me, I don't really look at it that way. I look at it more like, so my main priority is going to be like, is there any big name company that's dropped for some whatever reason? If there is, I'm going to put on a leap, right? So that's whatever X amount of money. And then basically I have like a list of like 20 go-to stocks where I just toss on some like monthly options. And that's it. Like, I don't really look too much
Have you abandoned what we've been doing basically then?
What? Which one?
Just selling CSPs.
No, I do that. That's what I'm saying. That's like, it's just earnings. Like, so basically earnings just, it takes, sucks a sale out of my wins in terms of like putting on options, right? Like I would usually have like a Netflix, Microsoft, Salesforce, Facebook, whatever, anything within like the $150 to like $400 range stock price. It's with over 100 billion market cap. I would just put something on like MasterCard, a few more, but yeah, those I still do actively. I just don't put on as many contracts now because I don't have to.
Well, I mean, so you did bring up a good point, because I made 2.4%. That's above my goal, and that was literally like 2 or 3 weeks worth of earnings in there. We avoided a lot of stuff. We, did other stuff. I did a lot of ETFs and stuff in there during that time. So that's a pretty good testament right there. Now there's still some earnings still left, but it opened, the floodgates opened on some of the bigger companies we wanted to do, right? So that kind of, and we still able to meet our goal. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy if we think about
it. What would you say was your number one producer for the month of April?
Number one producer, Lemonade, I think. think it's
Lemonade.
Yep. So I'm long on Lemonade because I have a background in artificial intelligence. I did some like work on it, and that's basically their business model. So I like their business model. I like their product. It's not quite $100 billion market cap, but yeah. So Lemonade and AT&T, I believe, were the two big money
Were
makers.
those leaps or those like just?
Yes, yeah, they're both leaps.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, gotcha.
How many leaps do you have on at the moment?
I have, let's see real quick. I have one on Alibaba, one on Nokia, Gerry and I. That was a fun one.
You have a Merc?
Yeah, I have Merck. I have KMB. I have a few on JD, but yeah, I think that's it. Just
So I have
7.
2
Not
leaps
too many.
out on Merc right now, 2 contracts.
Yeah.
I think we all got in at the same time. I don't know if Gerry did, but
Yeah, I got in on one.
okay.
Yeah, we had that game of who can get the better price. And I think Gerry won.
It's kind of like a negotiation, your salary, right? The first person that mentions it's the person that has that loses. And you put it out there first, I think, and you lost.
Every time. I think you love like beating me by like 1 cent, just like $1, just
Minimum
like
at least
me.
1 cent.
Yeah, that middle finger emoji is patented to Dave's name. I swear.
It is now, yeah. I'm waiting for Thumper to get all upset at me. So you got any questions, Gerry?
Do you see yourself doing any more on the put side, or you thinking you're going to be doing more of these leaps more so going forward?
No. I'm always looking at the put side. I just didn't have anything to put on for last, I would say, like 3 weeks. I think right after Netflix earnings, literally the next day, I tossed on a Netflix put.
Yeah,
Facebook is kind of far gone right now. I kind of want to see like what's going to happen to it. Once it's range bound, then you can kind of play with it again. But yeah, Microsoft. I think I might have one on there. A few more. Boeing's a good one. I've had pretty good success with Boeing.
I think it's a little tougher for you, right? Because you've implemented that $100 billion market cap rule. So
no, it's not too bad. It's not
that bad.
I didn't realize how many companies there were over 100 billion until I actually started looking.
Well, I'm just saying, usually the largest companies participate in market upturns, right? So, right now we've just been essentially moving up, so it's kind of hard to pick something and there.
Yeah, that's why I said I go longer dated, and I go a little bit safer on this because that allows you to get a little bit safer and a little bit more premium. And with how range bound a lot of these stocks are, especially the big names, if you get below that range, you're relatively safe. It's going to take
What are you calling long dated anyway? Because I know
I go about I do what Thumper does. He does about 30 days. I think 30 days like maximum for me. Some people do 45.
Crazy so the big difference between you and Thumper is he's going like 70% probability, right? What probability are you at now, or have you modified it from like 5%?
No, I go. I think the highest I go is like 10.
So 10%, 30 days out. I mean, it's got to be the leaps, The leaps is what's making the bulk of your money.
It's still leaps for sure. And it's not, it's hard. It's hard to like find them. Or I just ask my genie, who's Gerry. Like, I'm like, hey, Gerry, like, what's cooking today? He's good at finding stuff. I'm just like, I think Salesforce. He found Salesforce that one day. I made like 3,000 on that or something crazy.
Damn, man! I'd take a pizza.
Yeah, it was like a couple of week hold too. He's like, "Oh, Salesforce looks good." I'm like, I looked at the chart. I spent like 5 seconds. I was like, "Yeah, it does."
Weren't those leaps expensive? 2 years out?
I don't know. I do in the money leaps. Just like
I was just going to say, because if you're doing a PMCC, normally we try to get that extrinsic value out of there, right?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
If you're not trying to do a PMCC on it, are you going at the money or are you going deep in the money?
No, I go deep in the money. I do the same strategy as a PMCC.
Okay. So you kind of give yourself the option if you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not cheap. I mean, Salesforce is not a cheap stock.
No, but one thing I found is like when you suck out the premium by going deep in the money, like extrinsic value, sorry, not the premium. So extrinsic value by going deep in the money, you can basically leverage yourself like 2 to 1 as opposed to owning like 100 shares of the company outright with the same amount of money. So I think Salesforce was like about $200 when I put them on. Each one cost about, so owning 100 shares is 20 grand, right? So each one was about, I believe, $10,000 with very, very little extrinsic value. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll just double up. I just got a couple of them and it worked out.
Yeah, those were only about $3,000 a piece. They're still about there, so it wasn't too horrible.
I mean, I'll put some CSPs on Salesforce, but I probably wouldn't have gotten into Leaps. But that's just me. I'm not like the biggest Salesforce fan either, but at the same time, I would still do CSPs on it. But I don't. For me, it probably wouldn't be one I would do Leaps on. But that's the reasons why you made $3,000 on it. So. If I was in it, you'd have lost $3,000.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Waiting it out.
Yeah. I do high conviction plays. Like things I really believe in. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch it.
Well, Merck's supposed to be. It's like KMB definitely was. Pepsi was.
Pepsi was good.
128. Like that was the play of a lifetime right there.
So so both of them give me a lot of stock tips, and as far as Leaps go, they just don't put them on. I guess I don't know. So Dave told me about Pepsi and Walmart. I made quite a bit of money on both. So
solid stocks. They're not going
it's
anywhere.
Just putting that big chunk of cash into it because you're actually investing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like selling a cash secured put, right? You're actually putting your money on the line.
That technically could go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an expiration date there.
Exactly. That's why you give yourself a couple years.
Yeah, 2 years. And that's the reason why you want to be in super safe companies.
Mm-hmm.
There is ways. So, I mean, this is more advanced stuff that we're talking about here. I wouldn't recommend this for everybody. You can really gamble, you know what I mean? Like a company, and you can make a killing on a company with Leaps too. But, I don't know. If you want to gamble, I mean, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose money too. Like I was just in a snow leap, and in that account, I could only get into one because that account was kind of small. And I ended up taking a $1,700 loss on it, I'm just like, because it bleeds off, right? It was only 1 year too. I couldn't afford the 2-year leap.
Yeah. So when Dave mentioned the snow leap, I actually bought two snow. Like I think I bought one, but it was 2 years out. I didn't realize he was handcuffed by the account until later, and I actually got out with like I think a $200 profit because I just didn't feel that comfortable holding it. But the difference was I averaged down. I had the money to average down when it dropped. Yeah. And then I just got out when I broke even, basically. But
ultimately, I could have just thrown some more money in that account. But the other thing is I'm up $20,000 just in capital gains this year alone. So why not just take a little bit of loss and just kind of wipe out a little bit of capital gains? It was no big deal. That's like I said, it's just a more advanced strategy. Gerry, Leaps? Without PMCCs or what?
I have a couple of them on right now. As you guys know, I'm a freaking cheap ass, so I look for value stocks. I can't afford these CRMs and Pepsis and all that. So
ED was a good one.
ED was a good one. I have gotten ED. Well, I don't have ED, but I have been in some ED leaps. Let's make that clear. But I do currently have a Merck leap. I think we're all at the same strike, $55 strike. Yeah. I haven't sold the short call against it. I may if they pop up, but I might just sit and wait.
Did you hop on the T drop like a few weeks ago?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. But also, I talked to you guys about it. I'm in 10 Cent Music when they made their dip when Archegos Capital screwed up and some Chinese stocks went to crap all of a sudden. I got one of those, and then I picked up a couple of Viatris, the Pfizer spinoff company. and I picked up a couple of those. But I mean, those are small plays. I'm talking. I got what, $1,500 tied up into 3 leaps for those 2 companies. So I play it small, and that's kind of what I do with my whole account. Really, play small, play often, and take profits.
It's working for you. I mean, you're 2.5 times what I made, and that's just because.
Now, that being said, we were talking about this last night. I don't think that I would do the same things I'm doing now if I had your account size, right? I don't know if I would. Yeah. I would probably play it the way exactly you're playing it, or Stock Ninja's playing it. Just, big companies, safe companies. Because I do get into a little bit of, I don't get into the Riots and Maras and, meme type stocks, but I do play in the small and mid cap space.
The mostly Smith & Wessons of the world.
Yeah, mostly sub $50 stocks is what I'm usually in. Well, I'd say sub 100 actually, but
that's funny too. Last night that you, because I'm like literally reaching out to Gerry. I'm like, all right, how do I maximize my account? Because this is never something I care about. And then he's like, well, if I had an account like you, I wouldn't be doing it. So it was kind of funny. Oh man, yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I'm not necessarily like trying to, kill it here. I'm happy with the 2.4%. Honestly, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, that's beyond what I wanted to make. 5,000 is the goal, right? Because that's the 2%. So 2.4 puts you right at 6,000. So I'm still ahead of the game I'm still ahead of the market too. And both of you guys are, tearing the market up. And I know Thumper. Is he up? He's up over 20%, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think, yeah, like way over there.
24% or something? I don't know.
I mean, he's returning way more than we are per month. Plus, his account is a bit smaller, so yeah, he must be like
totally killing it.
Yeah.
Well, those days that are red, and I'm posting like a green day. You guys all have these red days. He'll post a $5,000 red day, and then it's an up day. It's like a $13,000 up day for him, So
he swings pretty wildly for sure.
There's some pretty big swings there.
It's the leaps will make you swing drastically. You just gotta close your eyes some days.
I mean, that said, he will kill it until the market goes down. Then he's gonna have to do some juggling and some management and stuff like that. Versus us, or at least me, I won't have to manage as much. It would take it would take like the end of February to happen, right? Even back then, I was more aggressive than I am now. So that because a lot of stuff we were in back then, we didn't really, it was just we're riding the gravy train, really. I think all of us back then. So we've all made adjustments going forward, and we're still figured out how to eke out the same performance, really. Even with earnings, really, too, and the premium drying up. That's saying something, right?
For sure. I mean, it's. I got into this, and it's like I found my aisle, my lane, right? Because, I don't really have a W-2 job, so I don't have a lot going on. So this allows me to sort of stay all in cash for the most part, and that's kind of comforting. In a sense, right? Especially when you don't have income coming in and you got bills to pay still. So it's really it's been comforting knowing that I can look at my IB account and it's like 94% cash, right? Instead of I'm 100% invested in the market, and it's like I'm at the whim of the market, right? Just whatever it does is what I'm gonna do. So it's nice to be able to have that control.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one thing like everyone just says, you can just dollar cost average, but you have to remember as your account size grows, your dollar cost averaging is like, it's not as powerful the bigger your account goes up, right? I mean,
yeah, the average has to go up. your dollar cost is going to go up when your account gets bigger. So that $2,000 is going to have an impact if you have 10,000, but if you have 100,000, it's not going to have as big of an impact.
And I really hate the concept of averaging up. So,
I can't do that.
That's the worst feeling. I never do it. I just can't do it.
Well, I probably will have to do it in some of my ETFs and stuff, but you guys have open forum if you want to talk about anything else. We can get questions too, and you can field questions if you want.
It's up to Ninja Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a few questions, talk about other stuff, more questions.
I didn't see many questions come in.
Well, here's one for Dave.
Oh, okay, that works.
Do you get into covered puts much, or do you stay So I don't actually do covered calls really at all anymore. I'm kind of letting the ETFs do it now. There's just too much to manage that stuff and in other portfolios, plus do what I'm already doing. And in the account that I'm in, my IB account, there's no reason to do cover calls in there because I don't hold any stock in there. So to answer that question, I'm doing almost all CSPs, and then not doing any more covered calls at all. And I'm gonna kind of Stock Ninja and I used to do like Microsoft and Apple and stuff, make that $20 a month or whatever. And it's just, you don't even do that. Well, you don't even have any dividend stocks anymore.
No. I have Microsoft and Alibaba and I think something else. I think I have 3 holdings left. That's about it.
It was too much work to go in there and do, and mess with that account. And so,
yeah, it's all one account for me. So I do Microsoft cover call, but honestly I forget about it sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to put this on.
And I hate to say this, but it's like sometimes I just feel like it was chump change. Too much work to put it on. It sounds bad, I know. $12 or whatever, for that week or something. To go into a whole other account. And it's in Schwab, by the way. And Schwab is like, it's cumbersome to do options in. So right now, I do have Microsoft, Apple, J&J. They're all at 100 shares in there, but I'm just letting the covered call ETFs take care of that for me. So that's the answer to that question for you. Crazy you say about performance enhancing drugs. Yeah, Gerry. I was just watching Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire. Canseco. I was a huge Canseco and Mark McGuire fan back in the day. So, Damien, good evening. What ETFs provide the most protection on the downturn in the market? There you go. There's one for Gerry.
Well, that would be an inverse ETF. Essentially. I mean, but I wouldn't want to long-term hold into that. That'd be a trading type vehicle and your time in the market, essentially. So I would just say NUSI for the most part. It's going to be stable. It'll protect you in a market crash. But if you want to take advantage of a downturn, then you got to look at some inverse ETFs. And, I don't mess with those.
The NUSI's a good one. It's not like a total protection, right? I mean, just like you mentioned, it's crash protection. It will give you some protection, right? It's like, spermicide or something, some protection, right? It's not 100% though. So, I think I have $112,000 in it in NUSI. Yeah. So
I think it's using a 9% downside protection at the moment for this month. I believe
that's new because it had only been 4 or 5%.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wonder why
it's interesting to look at those puts and calls that they put on, so you can tell whether they're bullish or bearish on the market, right? So,
exactly.
Do you know
what the spread is between the call side and the put side is?
I think the call is 4%, if I remember correctly.
So they're going to be making more money then.
Yeah,
they're going to be making more money then because the put side's a lot further down. So that's different. I need to actually, because I've been monitoring that every month and kind of putting it in a spreadsheet to see what they've been doing too. So I think they're bullish.
I think so too.
That's what it means basically.
Well, if they do if they do a put further down, then that means that they're wanting to buy cheap protection because they don't expect it to get there.
Exactly. Yeah. And they went higher on the upside too. That's what it sounds like. So they probably expect more helicopter money or something like that to be pushed in the market. That said, that's Nusi, right? What the hell were we going to say about Nusi? There's other ones too. Most protection and downside. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say something, but it freaking slipped my mind. Okay, so this is an interesting one here. Well, first of all, are you in the U.S., right? Because I don't know of all of the IBs all over the world. It could be different. So it should be 4-1. So if you have $100,000 in there, it should be $400,000 of buying power.
Yeah, but I think what he's asking is initial margin is still 50% of the notational position value. No, it's not. Initial margin is 10% plus the premium, I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
I believe that's the calculation. 10% of the assigned value of what strike you pick plus the premium. That can vary depending upon ticker. GameStop, for instance, if volatility goes crazy, they can assign GameStop to be 100% initial margin. So it really depends. But for the most part, it's going to be 10% plus the premium received.
Yeah, don't go much over 50 because when the market drops, it'll expand pretty quick. Yeah. And then you'll be like, oh shit, I'm at 60, I'm at 65, I'm at 70, you know, and then you have to make some decisions.
Yeah, it's at 70, your sphincter starts to tighten up.
You're definitely gonna have to start if you have some green stuff, I'd take some easy wins right off. That's what I do. If we have like a 2% down day, if I have anything that's in the green, I'll take it off. Okay, so new to options. I've seen you here in a couple weeks straight now, so you should be an expert by now. Just kidding. Join the Discord. We're all in there. Actually, our Stock Ninja, you don't really hang out there much, do you?
I usually I started posting in the daily one, the daily profit loss stuff.
You can just add him in there. He'll freaking come out of the woodworks.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'll respond if you add me.
The Sauce, we did talk about this one earlier. Join the Discord, and then we can talk more about, even on Thursday night, there's a chat in there with all of us in there, and we can talk more at length about it because it's not a live stream. So, and there's going to be a lot more ideas and people that can hound that or, give you an idea. I don't like it at first glance. That's just not something I would be doing. It's just way, way out of my comfort zone. Talk about sphincter. I mean, that thing would be tight as a frog's ass.
Do frogs have asses?
Well, they must. I want to move a few $100K to IB, but their customer service options. Yeah, it should be 4-1. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, are you in the U.S.? I don't know.
Yeah, tell us what country you're in.
Where you are.
IB is definitely international.
Jerry, this is for you.
It's bananas, that's for sure.
I'm going to throw $1 million into that thing.
Well, I got
1 year. Give me 1 year.
I got some real flack because I really didn't put much research into that video or to that ETF. I did a surface level look, and that was enough for me. I don't need to dig any deeper than to see what the heck what's going on, whether it's right for me or not. And that video was prompted by somebody that was on my Retire with Less series, right? And they said, "Oh, this is a great retirement vehicle to get you money, and you can retire early on this SLVO ETF." So I had to look at it, right? And then it's a horrible retirement investment because there was some years that you got 1 cent dividend in a month. I mean, how are you going to rely on that for retirement, right? So
that's a 6-month retirement fund.
Yeah, I mean,
it says it could go to 0 too. So
oh yeah, it's a debt instrument. It's not a lot of people think it's silver, right? Because it's kind of linked to the SLV iShares Silver Trust, but it's just a debt instrument. There's no they're not investing in silver at all. So it's I don't know. I think it was a horrible retirement video, and he's asking whether we would put any money into it. I think this answers it.
Well, that said,
Dave might.
I would also say this about SLOV. I mean, these people that are getting into this stuff, do they look at anything other than the yield? right? I mean, yield chasers, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. You know, lose all your money, or it's just I don't understand it. There, do you not look at anything else other than the yield, right? We were all yield chasers at one point, but I never went into something like that. You
Not
know what
like
I
that.
mean? I went into some REITs that had like 11% or something like that. But
And
honestly, those
NYMT comes
you
to
can get
mind
away with
for
some of those, you know.
yeah. NYMT was one I was looking at way back in the day because it had like
Yeah.
11% yield. I don't even know what it does, but
NOYARR, MCY, HCP. Those come to mind, but OHI is another one I like. Those are some healthcare ones, but I only have one REIT right now, so I'm not a big REIT person anymore. You don't want to put all your eggs in a single basket. Oh shit, Gerry, there's a lot of shit here. You ever put money into it? No, you just answered that. So
Yeah.
and Gerry, yeah, I refer to Gerry on that one. So I watched the video. So newbie, 3 months of selling CCs under my belt, thanks to you guys. Hey, that's awesome.
Right on. Hopefully, hope it's working out. Sounds like it is.
I just need to get her to come on a stream and talk about what she's doing. Kind of sure cat on the stream too, or cats. Stock Ninja in the house. Yeah, Stock Ninja. Oh man, you got a little waving hand there from Gerry's wife. Learned a lot from you guys. Hey, we appreciate that. We're, still kind of fine tuning. The thing is there's so many different ways to skin this cat, and we talk about this all the time. You know, just because Gerry has a different method that I do doesn't mean that he's wrong or I'm right and he's wrong, or I'm wrong and he's
That's
right.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, some people like longer DTEs, and it's very similar to politics in a way, right? You're trying to argue your way, right? And the other people are rejecting it, saying, no, I like this way, and it's like, it's very similar to that, but doesn't mean that their way is wrong or doesn't mean their way is right. And just because, just learn something from somebody else, right? What they're doing. It's working for them, possibly. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But it's just, there's so many different ways to do it. Just because Gerry's doing, IWN or something, doesn't mean that's, I don't know. I don't even want to say it. I actually don't like IWN. I like IWM, but
Yeah,
not
that's the better one.
so yeah, I just want to kind of say that because it kind of pops up a lot in the Discord too. People are saying they'll argue against something that you suggest, right? And it's not to say that what I'm saying is better than what they're doing or what they're arguing against. It's just everybody has a different way of doing something. And so you kind of need to find your niche or what works for you. Try that, try this. Find out what works for you.
Find your lane. That's why we start with covered calls. That way you get the mechanics of it, then you branch out from there. I mean, that's what Dave taught me way back when. Start with covered calls and then go from there. Don't start trying to get into flying butterflies and upside down frogs and all that stuff. Just
triple humpback whales.
Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean?
Caterpillars. I love how the range of aggressiveness is either Dave safe or Randy aggressive.
I mean, that's a full spectrum, to be honest.
It really is.
Well, Gerry's, yeah. We haven't really come up with any other names for anybody else, really. Thumper's almost right up there with Randy, if not maybe even the same, you know what I mean? So, and Randy's doing, I don't know if Randy's in here tonight. I hope he's okay, but Randy's doing some weird stuff lately, so I don't even know what he's doing, but he's got 4,000 shares of Newsy, so he's got some coma money working for him. Raymond Hoffman, let's see. If a stock doesn't pay a dividend, a leap is generally better. Well, we're buying leaps, so we're not selling them. So it wouldn't be called away, right? I don't know.
Well,
yeah, you just have the option to buy at your strike.
Yeah, I don't know why you would exercise those and take just taking ownership, right? No, we're doing calls, yeah. I even get it mixed up. Selling, buying, it's
Yeah, it gets you
Yeah,
have to be real careful in an options account when you're trying to buy a leap, because you're 99% of the time you're selling. So
do not screw up buying a leap. And make sure you get the mid price. Didn't Thumper just jack
He
that up
did.
like a week
He
ago?
did.
yeah.
He
It was
lost
like he
200.
burned like a $200 bill or something like
Yeah,
that.
in like 5. It was like 1 minute. I think it's $200 loss. He's like, what the hell?
Do not make that mistake. Oh man. And imagine if you like screwed up and you had the ask and then you sold at the bid or something like that. Like,
Oh, the spreads are wide.
yeah,
It's almost like it's oh man, it's like
that
$5,
probably would have been like a
$6.
$600 or $700 loss.
Yeah,
So
it's rough. You got to be very, very careful. So Dave, like when you sell them or when you try to buy them, do you start at the ask and then work your way down?
I don't normally start at the ask. It's just
Okay.
wasted time.
I do.
I'll,
I do. I'm patient with
get the
the
mid. I
leaps.
figure out what the mid is, and then I go up quite a ways from there and try there. Yeah. Have you ever had one take at the ask?
No, I haven't very close at the ask. It was like a $5 spread. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna try it. And it was $1 below the ask. I was shocked. I was like, okay, well, it's my lucky day.
Honestly, Merc was easy to get in. I don't know.
It was. I was surprised
It
it
was,
took.
yeah. There's a lot of liquidity for it.
Yeah.
I couldn't, usually when we talk about it, I can see you guys like putting in your bids and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see that. I was like, oh, what the hell's going on here?
Are premiums for individual stocks usually higher than ETFs? Yeah, usually.
Typically, yes.
Unless
There
you're
are some
looking at-
ETFs that are, up there like that, but they're going to be more volatile than individual stocks for the most part.
Yeah, I would say SPY is probably.
Name one. Just curious.
Your clean energy type stuff, PBW, TAN. I do a couple of those once in a while. If they're on a really good down day, I'll throw one on. But they'll give you some really good premium, but you got to be ready for a ride.
I'd say my favorite ETFs are TNA, IWM, SPY, QQQ, TQQQ. I'm not a huge fan of RK, but I'll throw them on every once in a while. But I'd say those are my wheelhouses right there for ETFs.
I sometimes do Diamond, DIA, what's it called?
Yeah, I
Dow
haven't
Jones.
touched that one.
The Dow,
Yeah, Dow.
It takes a little bit, but quite a bit of buying power for me. So,
Yeah, I haven't really touched that one. Let's see. Try Micron for some great option premium. That's MU, right?
Yeah, it's
MU. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look at MU.
Let's see.
It's pretty solid for option premium.
Sorry, Stock Ninja, you can't do it. It's 98 billion.
I have some wiggle room. Jeez.
I'm just kidding, man. It would be what I would do. Actually,
looks pretty good.
Pretty inexpensive as far as
the thing with MU is
but,
like,
I mean, it's got a very low short flow. Yeah, I mean, it would be one I would touch. I'd
If you
probably
can get
want
under
70 though.
Yeah, I was gonna
why-
say under 75.
yeah, I wonder why we haven't really looked at this one.
I'll look at that one. I'll throw it on the list. I might have it on my watch list. I don't know, but yeah, 70. I'd want to be low 70. I don't know what the premium is out there on that, but I'll have to look. Yeah, I'm getting a bit lost. Don't worry so much about some of the acronyms and all that crap we've been using, leaps, and I know you know what days to expiration is, but we've also talked about extrinsic value and all that stuff. And honestly, extrinsic value really doesn't matter unless you're doing leaps, and especially when you're doing PMCCs, trying to get a lot of extrinsic value taken out of there. But that's a little bit more advanced stuff. You don't need to start there, Rebecca. Hey guys, what are the snow leaps you are discussing? I'm out of mine. So anybody else? No, I think everybody's out
No,
of this.
Thumper's stuck. We both got out. Yeah.
Thumper's stuck, huh?
I might jump back in, knowing he's in the same boat.
I actually, because I've consolidated all my accounts down, I'm willing to get back into some leaps in this account. So snow is just like I'm a big bull on snow. Like the CEO is killer, right? I know the space. Like I know it more than Palantir, even though I've been trading a lot of Palantir lately. I'm just waiting for the earnings to get passed right now. But it's the problem is the snow is just kind of it's been range bound the last several weeks. You know what I mean? Kind of really been moved from like 230 to 240.
Yeah, I don't really see any indication of which direction it wants to go either. That's what I'm concerned about. Usually the chart gives you like a tell, some sort of like either up or down, but it's just I don't know.
It doesn't tell you because it's relatively new.
Yeah, it's I would say maybe like another week of observation or two, just to see. By then it could just like moon. Good for Thumper, bad for us, but it's fine.
No, it's fine. I don't ever regret that stuff. Gerry, you familiar with this one?
No, but welcome.
Yeah. See, I just want to get better return on my money than the measly. Oh yeah, get that out of one freaking one contract.
One contract should do it.
We'll make everything we make in the whole year.
One covered call.
Yeah. Wong Hung Lo. Is that a joke?
I knew you were going to say that.
Is that's killer? I love it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, do you guys? I met a guy that was actually named Two Shit once. I mean, it was hilarious. The whole class. It was in a class too. Like, yeah. Anyways, do you guys have any monthly dividend stock? I do. Yeah, I have a bunch. I have a dividend portfolio, 480K in there, with plans to build it out to $1 million at some point. But I still will be jacking around with options just because I enjoy it. And as I like to say, I like to shit out a Tesla. If I want to shit one out, I can shit one out, right? With options. So, but you, Gerry, you're not really a dividend investor anymore either. So,
no, I'm not. I have Nusi. That's kind of my biggest holding outside of my options. It pays monthly, so other than that, I really don't. I have a couple of positions, Rocket, Palantir, that I have 100 shares on that I create my own dividend from. But other than that, I have my GW ETF channel RV fund. I do have that. It's got it. I made some changes, but it's mostly QQQ. And my wife, huh?
Is it straight QQQ or like QQQM?
QQQM. That's one of the changes. I had QQQ and I changed it to QQQM. And then my wife is building up. I got her into M1 Finance. I got her building up her DGRO position. So all this stuff, though, is really pretty small compared to my options account.
Stock Ninja, you don't really have a dividend portfolio anymore, right?
No, I mean, when I did for monthly dividend stocks, I think I had QILD, JEPI for the ETFs. Realty Income was a pretty sizable position. What's that other real estate one that pays monthly? Stag. Yeah. Stag. I like that one. I think that's it.
Paid monthly. That's automatically better. It just went up in my list.
It paid monthly.
Options suck on it though.
Yeah, and then Gerry he had a video where he does the math on like is monthly better, and then after I saw it, I'm like, yes, it's overrated. I
do have a new schoolie fund in M1, so it's got two in there. It's got Devo and it's got QQQM in there, but I might add something else. So in my dividend portfolio, I got Devo, O, JEPI, and Nusi in there, and I've get. Every video that comes out, I put out now, there's always a QYLD question. So I'll answer right now. Let's talk about it last night, actually. I might actually put like $100,000 down the road at max into QYLD. That's it. I like to maybe have $1,000 a month coming out of it, but I wouldn't be putting in anything more than that. That'd be like a 10% of the portfolio or something value. And pretty much do what Gerry suggested, which take like 80% of that, keep it, spend it, whatever, and then 20% put the rest back into the fund. Yep. But let me also say this, with all those ETFs that I have, eventually all those probably would get drawn down, and it's going to be way more income than I need. All that income that I don't need would go back into solid crap, right? Like DGRO, SCHD, VYM, or maybe even some individual stocks, right? That's the plan anyway. I'm not going to be staying in those. I don't want to say I wouldn't stay in them forever. It's just, why not try to take some of the excess money I don't need and build up more solid positions than those, right? That's the
Makes
plan.
sense.
There's a bunch. Yeah, well, going back to this one here, AGNI, what's that one?
I think he means AGNC.
Yeah, that's one of the
Mortgage
that's
REIT.
one of the more crappier ones out there. We used to bag on people actually that had that one. Miso, yeah, I've heard that one too, but yeah, I don't know. AGNC is probably what my guess is too. See, the Stock Ninja and both of you guys, Thumper, etc., give out option suggestions. We give out option suggestions to each other.
Mainly no, but I would say join the Discord, join Randy's Facebook group. Randy's Facebook group, though, I gotta preface this and say this: there's a little bit more aggressiveness there. So
stuff too.
Meme stock type stuff. The Discord is a little bit more conservative, level-headed type stuff.
And just, I mean, the stuff that we're going to suggest might not even be what you want. You know what I mean? You might be in there in the, you know, the Fastlies of the world, and we're not anymore. We're not trading stuff like that anymore. So we don't really give out suggestions, but in the Discord, you can, in there, there's like a place to post trade ideas or whatever. And we might even post trades in there that we've done already. But, you know, the reason why we don't really like to do that is because people might parrot off of them. And we might already be out of the trade at this point, right? I mean, you could be, right? So, yeah.
Or we could be wrong. It could tank, and you'll be pissed off at us.
Yeah, exactly. You've been served. See here. The covered call ETFs Dave mentions are Jeppy and Nusi. Yeah, I have both of those.
And Devo.
Which I'll be building out even more. I would love to actually sell more VYM and get into more Devo, but I have to take capital gains to do that. A long-term hold ETF fund, not trying to time the market downturn.
Oh, that was from the inverse thing we were talking about earlier. So if you want crash protection, capital preservation type of, well, I don't know if I should call it capital preservation, but definitely crash protection, Nusi is probably the way to go. But you got to understand you're capping your growth still.
Yeah. Sorry, Nusi autocorrected for Miso. Miso horny. Nusi, yeah, that's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Nusi turned into Miso. What? Crazy. Let's see here. Join, Randy's Discord. There's a lot of, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Check it out for a week. All right. We can put the link in there. It's down in the description. Yeah. And there's a ton of people in experience, not just us, people beyond us. You know what I mean? So we all have different ideas. We have a Thursday night chat where we all, not everybody, but we get together and we ask questions and, you know, have emotional support and all that stuff. Like, you know, Stock Ninja needs that all the time. So, so here is the link right here. Hopefully that's not one of the ones that expires, but click on the link, go in there, join, go, you know, hang out there in the week, participate, whatever, show up on Thursday, participate there. If you don't like it, you can, you know, just delete it. Nothing is 100% except abstinence, Dave. Oh, she must be talking about my gum. That's
Oh my
God. What have I got myself into, Gerry? Stock fund ETF. Uh-oh. We got Sam here. Go check out Sam's channel too. I'll put it down there actually because she needs some help growing as well. Let me see here. Stock Ninja, you want to grow your channel?
Not really. This is more comments to respond to. It's taking so much time.
So everybody that's in the chat, if you go support Samantha here, I'd appreciate it. She would too. And she's trying to grow her channel. and yeah, show her some love too. So that's the great thing about this community. It's so small and niche, and we all kind of help each other and support each other. So let me make sure I got the right channel. Jesus. Yeah, okay. BBQ ends in BBQ. Let's see, Randy's Discord. Hey, Spinning Jar, if he's willing, we could put you on the live stream, Charlie. I know you do, which would be interesting too, because I know you do spreads. And not only does he do spreads, he does it on SPX. So that'd be kind of interesting to get his take on that. I've done it on there, and honestly, you talk about a butt puckerer. SPX will pucker your butt. So it'd be interesting to have Charlie on if he's willing to come on.
The SPX is 1,000 shares, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 10x a SPY contract.
Yeah. Whew. Stock Ninja.
Here's Stock Ninja. What does your retirement portfolio look like? Do you own any Vanguard products? Are you looking to fire like Gerry and Dave?
Oh, so my retirement account is just some fixed state retirement Vanguard fund. I don't really look at it. I just pull whatever the company matches and call it a day. I probably will fire early. I have like unique terms of retirement goals, but yeah, I don't really care about my 401k.
It's kind of just a way to kind of reduce taxes.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
It's a vehicle. It's not the end all be all. If you're gonna fire, it's definitely not. Like you need something outside of there. Gerry, you want to answer that question too?
I do not have any retirement account. Well, I'll take that back. I have two Roth accounts for my wife and I that I thought in the beginning, I thought that was going to be the end all be all to my retirement and blah, blah, blah. And I found out that, it really is going to do me no good because I can't, access it before 59. Yes, you can access the contributions, but that wasn't going to be enough to sustain me for when I want to retire till I can actually get the gains out of it. So I kind of abandoned my Roths. Last year there was penalty-free withdrawals, so I drained out most of it. I only have a few $1,000s in each one now. So I'm just trying to wheel some stocks in there to make that grow. And otherwise, I'm all taxable.
Well, that answers that. Just realized I'm in the Discord. Yeah, there you go. Just check it out. If it's not for you, you can always, delete your account or whatever and hurt Randy's feelings. It's really good to bounce ideas. Yeah, exactly. That's the great thing about the Discord as well. It's Thursday night. We're normally on there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I normally have to go to whole paycheck, but before they close. But I'll come back. We can stay on there all night if you want. You can do options without using margin at all, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cash
that's
secure.
actually a CSP technically, because none of us really do CSPs in general. But
although it's typically good to have, how do you call it? It's a margin account where your funds are settled and available immediately to you. Because usually without a margin account, your funds take days to settle, so you won't be able to get into another trade.
It's not necessary especially if you're going to be in like 30-day stuff, but
right.
You really want to build your account up as big as possible anyway, right? So the time, so the Thursday night chat, we're actually going to move it to 7:00. I guess it would be for her, it'd be 8:00 Central Standard Time, but so just remember 9:00 Eastern Time, not 8:30 Eastern, because I was sitting there for 30 minutes last week and nobody was talking, nobody was really there. There's like a couple people there, but nobody talked. It didn't really start getting moving until like once Gerry came in at 7:00.
Yeah, so if you're new into the Discord thing, there's a menu on the left side. If you scroll all the way down, you'll find Thursday night chat, and that's where you want to be on Thursday nights.
And maybe we'll put a little brackets or something next to it that says 9:00 Eastern Time, EST. I'm going to join the Discord. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Charlie, let's see. Rebecca. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if Charlie's still here, but it'd be great to get him on to talk about the SPX spreads that he does. I joined the Discord. Yeah, I welcomed you. You didn't respond yet. You hurt my feelings. I don't know much about leaps. How do you guys use them, and what is their purpose? So let me just say this, and I say it every time. Leaps they're nothing special about leaps, other than technically it stands for something. I think it's long something whatever, but they're exactly the same thing as all the other options we're doing, other than they really expire normally more than a year out, right? That's what they call them, like long dated. But that does stand for something. I can't remember what it stands for. I did a video on it, but so they're no different. And I want to say that because I remember years ago when I first heard that term, I thought it was something completely like it was a new vehicle, right? Not a car, but like a new investment vehicle. It cleared, didn't get cleared through CBOE. Like I thought it was completely different. You know what I mean? So there's nothing different about them other than they expire, usually beyond a year. And normally they don't go out past usually 2 years, right?
Yeah. And the difference is we're buying them. We're not selling them. We're on the buy side, on the call side.
Now,
so
you could sell them.
You could.
But you get a boatload of money too. I mean, didn't we look at getting 30 grand out of T or something, doing some leaps?
Yeah, something like that. But I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that was PMCCs, right?
You technically could, because I think Matt Money did it too, Palantir or something like that, right? Like he sold some leaps way out, like collected like $6 grand. Like, yeah, folks, I made $6 grand this month.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We called him out on it too. We're like, dude, that's not realized.
If you really want to be passive, you have like a pretty big portfolio or whatever, you could just do, a boatload of leaps or something and then just not look at it for a year. The market continues to go up. You just buy them back for half price or something like that.
I did a video on the leaps too, and essentially it's just giving you control of 100 shares without owning 100 shares. So it's kind of like that. You control 100 shares at a cheaper price than you would if you were to just go out and buy them.
No different than selling a Castigar put on like Tesla 400, right? You do a leap down at like 100 or something like that, still collect a pretty good amount of money. Dan's in the house here. Greetings, everybody, or everyone. Go check out Dan's channel as well. I don't think he put a video out this week.
I think he did today, right?
He might have. I haven't been on YouTube.
I think.
Option. Hey, Randy is here. All right, Randy.
I feel like this link has been like advertised.
Well, there's 20 different links, and they all get commissions for them. Just kidding, they don't. See, what's this? One downtown, not downtown, but Dantown. A fairly safe covered call option to sell might be Kroger. Somebody else mentioned that today. I don't agree with it. I agree it's probably safe, but I just don't like the grocery store industry. 100 shares are, covered call. I agree it'd probably be an okay one to start at, but it's also not really. She never shops at a Kroger. She's never even heard of Kroger, probably. They don't have Aldi. There's no Aldi stock. There's no Publix stock. Or is there Publix? There might be Publix, but Albertsons there is. But I don't know. What do you feel about this one, Gerry? For a first one, I guess, but
I've done it.
Call, by the way.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
We're trying to get her into puts.
I've done it, but I actually don't like buying 100 shares just for the plan to sell covered calls. Right? That's if you're going to buy 100 shares, you better like that company. Like it better be a good value to buy right now, not just because you can sell a covered call for the next week. That's I think that's bad strategy.
So I would say just don't do a buy right.
Right. You do a put
lower than
you do a put to get your assignment at a price you'd like it. And if it never gets there, you just keep doing that put until then. So, and then if you feel like, okay, at that price, you want to be assigned and you want to take ownership of that stock, then you can look at the covered calls. So,
yeah, and I'd almost say when it comes to doing, because that's kind of a wheel strategy, what you're talking about there. When it comes to wheeling, I'm definitely going to be real particular about the stocks I'm going to do the wheel on. It's not going to be a Kroger. It's going to be, the Microsofts, the Apples, even though I hate Apple, but Facebook maybe. Microsoft really is what comes to mind, but I'd be wheeling something like that.
But I do like Kroger stock, but I like it down in the 33 to 34 range, personally.
Let me see where I like it.
Where is it right
We'll
now?
probably like it in the 30s.
33. 33 would be good, but wouldn't it be nice to get it down there like 30, 50, or 31?
Exactly.
They had a big uptick because isn't Berkshire Hathaway
invested
in them now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had good earnings and all that. I'm waiting for them to come down, and I'll get into some, because I like selling puts on them, but I got to wait for it to come down.
Short flow too. I don't like that about it, but it is what it is. That won't hurt you. The cover call side it might, but
yeah.
Let's see, guaranteed Gerry. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see here. When you discuss ROI and options, what is the math formula? Do you calculate it based on initial margin or is it based on full account value?
I don't really do the ROI on individual options. I just look at the end of the month to see if I'm up that month.
I can't remember. I have a script that calculates it, but I don't remember what formula I'm using. Technically, initial margin, because I think there's two numbers you would use, actually. You'd use initial margin, but you would also use the full value, I think, as well. So there's two numbers.
I think technically it should be the full value at the end of the day, but I don't calculate it at all. So
yeah, Thumper does. I think he uses the full value though. See, I just heard. Have you ever had one take it at the Ask? Play. I didn't say ass, folks, but that's so. Yeah, I guess it does kind of. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. No, it didn't dawn on us. That didn't dawn on us at all. When you discuss what? Is it the same?
Hold on. I got one for you. That brings up a story there that Asda. Because in the UK, I watched this guy from the UK that does like food reviews and stuff like that. And their grocery store over there is Asda, ASDA, right? So he goes, "Oh, I took my wife up to Asda the other day. We picked up this food." It just reminded me of that. It's just hilarious.
I'll have to watch the replay again. I'll put it in 2x2 just to see. Have you ever checking it at the Ask? That does sound pretty damn close, doesn't it? Can you go over a quick example of how margin works on IBKR or in general? Let's say we sell a CSP on Apple, Crapple, 125 strike May.
That'll probably use up what, like?
Well, I mean, I got IB up, so it's Apple 125 May.
It's probably about $1,500, maybe.
Yeah, 1,500 in buying power, probably.
What was the expiration?
May 7th.
May 7th.
Shit. What strike was 125?
Yeah.
Oh man. 17 cents.
What's the initial margin?
Yeah, what's the initial margin?
Oh shit. I honestly don't know if those prices are right, but the initial margin, god dang. 3,500.
35 seems a bit high.
Oh, it's because it's a week out.
Oh,
that does make a difference too.
Yeah,
I forgot to throw that in
Thumper
there.
did mention that earlier up in the chat.
Yeah, he did.
The longer stuff out there, there's less. I think it's Vega, if I'm not mistaken. That
Yeah, the Vega risk.
So yeah, 10%, right? Plus whatever else they're doing behind the scenes, a little sauce in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of formulas out there. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't look at it too much.
It's 10% plus premium plus volatility or something like that. I don't know.
It's very hard to figure that out on how IB is calculating that out.
Mm-hmm.
In general, it starts at usually 10% of whatever, but IBKR said my maintenance back 18. What?
He might have something.
Do you own a hunt? Well, no, that wouldn't do it. Unless you're short. No.
He might be.
I got a 125 May 7th, 21, 7 days away on Crapple, 17 cents, $3,500 margin impact.
Maybe that's $18 what it would cost him to close it. Maybe that's what he's looking at.
Is he looking to buy? If he buys it, then
if you buy it, there's no margin impact.
We said CSP earlier up there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, CSP.
So, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I have MU June. Oh, Strangle.
Remember we used to throw strangles on, and then
all the time.
On everything.
You screwed it up for us,
dude. No, I think after that snow debacle,
you screwed it up for us.
After snow, I got scared, and then I think Gerry and I got caught up in freaking Wayfair, and I was just like, "What am I doing? Like, I should just stop this nonsense."
Those are nice lessons to have, though. Everybody should lose a few $1,000s in their in the beginning of their career. You'll learn some things. It's serious. I'm actually being quite serious.
He's right. It's just kind of painful when it's like, oh man,
it sucks. It does.
It sucks big time.
So that Strangle, I like the upside on it, the 97, but that said, that thing could jump. I mean, it's MU. It could jump up to 97. I don't know what it's. Oh, it's June. That's quite a ways out. Like, that'll put you in a hurt right there. You know what I mean? If I was doing that, I'd want to be up like at 110 or something. That's just an example. When I do Amazons, I'm at like 4,500 or something. Of course, back then it was probably 4,000, but I'm way up there. That 97 is like right near the 52-week high.
Yeah, I would want to be way above the 52-week high.
Yeah. The downside to me is less riskier. Even though 80, I'd still want to be lower than 80. And the thing is it really doesn't matter because this isn't a spread. So he's going to make money on both sides, right? It's not a spread. So he could actually come down to a 75 or a 70 and probably go up to like a 110 and still make, I don't know if it's a he, but could make some money. Okay, obviously not as much as that, but that's what I'm talking about. Everybody has different ways of doing it. That's just way too risky for me. For snow, down on the Leafs, but have been selling calls against them to slow the bleed while still maintain a profit point if snow goes up quickly. Thumper's like the master of, he's like, as All Good said, he's like a magician for managing.
Yeah,
with those, you have to, you have to, with the PMCCs even, I know we talked about selling at the money on the short calls, but, you could be out of that in the next week, right? So, leaving yourself a margin of profit there is probably a good way to go.
Yeah, like I said, if you have any like stuff that's in a weird position or whatever, hit up Thumper. He'll help you out. Can I, as a call option buyer, choose to exercise early before expiration? Yeah, you could. Yeah, normally if you're going to do it early, you're probably going to lose money though.
Usually, it's very rare situations. Usually on like ex-dividend dates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And it also
profit.
has to do with people trying to screw people on purpose. But yeah, you're right. Dividend, what they're trying to do is dividend arbitrage. They're trying to lose less money than they're going to make on the on the dividend. What are we putting on next week? I'm not putting anything on right now. I got to take some shit off to put some shit on, as Gerry likes to always say.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't do. I know, like I said, check out Thumper's thing. He's supposed to be putting out his watch list type of thing every Monday or something like that.
Right? Something
Did he
like
record it yet?
I don't know, but literally, I don't look at on the market side Saturday and Sunday. I don't look at anything.
No, I just wait till the morning pops up, see what the market's doing.
Yeah, I'll log in.
The top movers, the top decliners, and I'll pick shit out of there sometimes, like Netflix in there. There's a lot of stuff in there last week, like some memeer type stuff. Like, was it Beyond Meat that was in there? Piton, like all those like somewhat questionable stocks,
Tweeter.
Well, you got into Zoom, didn't you?
I followed Thumper into Zoom.
That's like Thumper's favorite stock.
It is.
That Netflix. Let's see. Support Gerry's RV fun here.
Thanks, Dan.
Damn, Gerry. Woo. Way off. You guys wrong? I'm shocked. No, we're never wrong, Gerry. You ever wrong?
When we're wrong, we're right.
Yeah, even when we're wrong, we're right. Newsy is juicy. What's this one? Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Please make sure you smash the like button. Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, subscribe to Samantha. Show her some love over there. Down, let's see here. Matt in the house. Sahib. Hey, there's Matt right there. I haven't seen him around. He's probably
Uh-oh, Dave's locking up on us?
locking up.
Or is that just me?
Nah, he's been
here. Matt, are you broke yet? No, he's not broke.
He's back to all-time highs for his personal account.
Yeah, $870,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Long-term equity there you go, right there. Yeah. So I did one video on leaps, and that's exactly long-term equity anticipation securities. They're no different though.
No, someone with a master's degree had to come up with that name.
Hey, I got a master's. You saying I'm dumb?
You didn't come up with that name, though.
Somebody with a doctorate came up with that.
There you go.
There you go. Long-term, yeah. Yeah, I gotta see. Ethos. A lot of hellos and stuff here. If you say feeling froggy, leap. Leap is when you buy a call that expires. It doesn't have to be buying. You could sell one too. A year or longer, 2-year leaps. Doesn't have to be when you buy it. It could be when you sell it as well. I'm talking about selling to open and buy to open here. So both cases. I think cars are overpriced. Used cars go for 6 to 7K where I'm at. New cars are super expensive too. I think if there is a stock out there for alternative transport, that'd be great.
Uber. Lyft.
Yeah, Lyft.
Uber tanked.
What about those little scooter maker people?
Bird?
Yeah, I don't know if they I don't think any of them were public.
Yeah, so
U-Haul.
Lime? Is it Lime? I thought Lime was public.
No, I don't think it is.
No.
They bleed money like left and right. I don't think.
Yeah, all of them will bleed money for sure.
Well, almost every startup does. They all want to bleed money so they can expose the market and then worry. Like Uber. Does Uber even make any money right now? They're still taking.
Doubt
It took
it.
me a while before they ever make any money. I actually like Lyft better anyway. Dave, are you okay? I just signed up for IB and used your referral link. Okay, maybe in a year I'll see that money. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
they have
you might
the
not.
strangest freaking referral system in the world.
You can
I hope
even
you
get
money out of it too, but
you can even get 6x if you have over 100. I think 15,000.
do they
I don't remember.
keep like if he signs up? Will he get money too? Does he got to wait a year for it to show up?
He gets shares. I think he gets shares in iBroker stock, IBKR.
Is it right away, or do they got to wait?
No, I don't think so.
He has to spend
he has some requirements of how long he needs to maintain a certain account balance, and he needs to maintain it for a certain amount of time. Same, and that goes for your referral too. If he doesn't maintain it for a certain amount of time and a certain balance, you don't get the referral.
So yeah,
I think he also needs to spend commissions too, if I remember correctly.
It's a convoluted.
They have literally the worst referral system I've ever. Like, they're so strict.
It's a mess.
Basically, yeah, you got to get like a sperm donation, a DNA check, and whatever else. Let's see if you guys are pulling my leg on this. Nah, we're not pulling your leg.
Nah.
According to the other person, we were pulling his leg. See, Dave put out a video today. No, it was just.
Yeah,
he did. So, yeah. I just looked like a few hours ago. There's no video there. I kind of want to do a CS. Yeah, I agree. TQQQ. Go out to September 35 strike. There you go. Yeah.
I got a couple of those on right now, actually.
It's like a $425 maintenance margin requirement.
Yep.
I suppose that would. You gonna take off?
Yeah, it is. It is getting past my bedtime.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, everybody's always welcome to come on anytime you want. So always just reach out. We're always in contact anyway, you and I.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks for showing your face this time too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's Stock Ninja. Go take a look at his other video we did about. I think it was this very second one.
The very second one, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second one. He talks about Broku because he got Broku'd, came up with verb for it. And that changed the strategy for him ever since. And not to mention maybe a little bit for Gerry, a little bit for me. So Rebecca, aggressive. See, I don't agree with that. Why would you say it's aggressive? Because it's triple leveraged? Is that the only reason why? We're accounting for the triple leverage, by the way. 35 strike. I did the math on it. It's a 22% move down in the Qs, right?
Yeah, if she was selling at a $100 strike, then I would say, yeah, that's pretty damn aggressive. But
I mean, I do 50 strikes and stuff, but I'm not going out to September. But honestly, I looked at putting on like 35 of those suckers. 35 going out to June. I'm like, it's like $30,000 in maintenance requirement or something like that. I'm like, that's as much as that SPYs I have on right now. Right? Why not go out and collect like $4,000 or something like that, So I don't agree that it's aggressive especially for a first option. She would have no problem like buying it. A 35 strike on TQQ would be a great thing to buy. You got to look at March of last year. The lowest I got was like $16 or $17, right?
$17, and if you would have just bought a bunch at $17, you would have 4x'd your money in less than a year. I don't have a problem with it buying it down there for sure.
And I don't think could we have a 22% market move? Yeah, I think we could. We could have one before, in a month, or it could happen before June or September's the strike expiration, but it wouldn't stay down there, in my opinion. There's so much money being pumped into the market that it's highly unlikely, but it's okay because honestly, if it does get down there, I'm going to be buying leaps or shares. I don't know which one yet, right? I'm going to be buying it down at 35. If it goes lower, I'll average down, right? I just don't think it would ever get down there back to that number again, because it was almost a 40% move, right, to get down there last time. I guess if you buy at a strike 50% lower than, well, I mean, that's technically beyond 50%, but, I took the Qs and then figured out all the math right there because it's triple X, so that's a 22% move down. That take it at the okay. Take it at the ask question is funny. Gerry, you're happy?
Always.
I don't want to lose money, Gerry. Only print the tendies. Who wants to lose money? Oh shoot! Here's Charlie here. The 18 is probably the premium. Yeah, I agree, because it was like there's a 16 to 20, I think. So, and I put 17 cents. So, but I don't know why he's talking about margin. The $18 is not margin. So I'm a little lost there, but let's see, here's Thumper. Thumper shopping list scheduled to go out tomorrow morning. Don't just pair it, but hopefully it can give you ideas. Okay, that'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to
it.
Thumper.
Yep.
Yeah. Question for all three of you. It couldn't fit on this one, apparently. If you were to retire tomorrow and had zero in income from any source, if you could only sell options, what is the minimum amount of cash savings you would have to have in your IBK to live comfortably? This one's probably geared more towards you, Gerry, although I'll answer it too. But
what's comfortably? That's the thing.
That's a good question.
What's your needs, financial needs, and all that stuff? But I'd like to be more towards what Dave's at, and still make the same amount of money. I wouldn't, not necessarily that I would, but that would be nice to have that cushion. Because right now I feel like I'm like bumping up against, risk levels that I'm not comfortable with. So, I'm averaging almost $3,000 a month on a roughly, it's varied, but a roughly $50,000 account, right? So I can live on $3,000 a month. So technically I can say I can answer that as $50,000, but I would definitely want more so that I can have more of a margin of safety, if that makes sense.
Well, let me just say this too, because, if I had $1 million portfolio in options, right? Like I take other money that I have, the portfolio, the dividends, and throw it in the options account, I'd be like, I'd probably go out 30 or 60, 90 days, just like pick almost the lowest strike they probably even have listed there. You know what I mean? And still make more money than I'm making out of the dividend portfolio. So it's just, when you say comfortably, that's kind of, I can live comfortably right now on $40,000 a year. Less than that probably, because I actually live on that less than that technically now. But so that's just it's a tough one to answer, I think, for me. But I made $6,000 with $250, but there's a lot of work involved to do that. Versus if I had a bigger account, it'd be less work.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So and it's less work to make the same $6,000.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, 50,000 and I made 3 or a little bit more, but, do I go to 100 and make 6? Do I go to, 200 and make 12, or do I, go to 200 and make 6 and be a lot more safer, right?
Or maybe make 8, like a little bit more, but be safer, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's a bunch of ways to skin that dog. I'm a cat lover, so let's see. So the thing here is that $18, I think, is your premium that you were going to receive. But you were talking about margin impact. So that's why we're a little confused, because I'm on mine and it's showing $3,500 used as margin impact.
What you can do is go into the Randy's Discord, take a screenshot, make sure that you're not showing any account numbers or any personal information. Share that, and then we can dissect it.
You can show your account number if you want, but
yeah.
I wouldn't do it. There's a way to hide it too. You have to go into the portal and change there's like a nickname or account name or something in the portal, and that'll change it on Ibkr or TWS side. It doesn't hide it everywhere, but it'll hide it in most locations. Maybe I should do a video on that. Your number sounds too much more reasonable. Yeah. Well, I'm looking right at TWS. So You sure it isn't the premium? I'm pretty sure it's the premium, Charlie. Because I'm seeing it right here. The spread was like 16 to 20. So 16 cents to 20 cents. So that makes sense to me. Yeah. Well, I don't know if Stockton even wants subs anymore.
Yeah,
Go there if you want to support them. Yeah, it's 18, but it's just tried using my sub account. Yeah, so that's the maintenance margin requirement, $3,300. What's a sub account?
Maybe he has a secondary account.
Maybe it's because I own Apple on my main account.
I don't think that would make a difference.
Shouldn't. Yeah, I'm lost. Show us a screenshot without the account number. Yeah, I think accounting for a triple leverage aspect leaves more room for upside if I do get assigned the shares. I'm okay with a great deal at 100 shares of TQQ. Oh yeah, I agree. If let us know if you run any issues with Fidelity. Try to simulate putting the trade on, but don't actually put the trade on, and see if it. Gerry, do you actually have to submit for it to pop up that message?
Yeah, you do. I mean, it'll give you warnings if you can't do it too.
Well, how can she find out if it's going to get her warning before she puts the trade on? Is what I'm.
Well, I'll try to put it on tomorrow morning, and I'll let you know.
So she has options level 2. Yours is 3, right?
Oh yeah, mine's 3. We'll see.
Yeah. So, anyways, isn't there a way to like submit it before and just kind of like do it outside of market hours so it gives you all the?
Well, yeah, I mean, if she has the money in there right now, she can go and put the order in and see if it will allow her to put the order in for sure.
Yeah, and then
but if the money's not there, then
yeah, and then just cancel it. But we need to see because how hard was it to get level 3?
It was a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ask.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it a pain in the ask? What's YOS? Yo's be printing some tendies. I just hope I can do it on Fidelity. Yeah, you might have to. I don't know. It depends how much money you have in there too, probably, doesn't it?
Probably, yeah, it probably does. But Fidelity is a pain in the butt to get options freedom.
Even if you had let's just say $3,600 in there, why wouldn't they let you put that on?
I don't know. I had to argue with them for getting to be able to do cash secured puts in my Roth. I went
like a true cash secured put, right?
Yeah, it literally took me 2 weeks of back and forth with them to finally get approved.
Yeah, so you might have to badger them. You might have to threaten to go and leave them to go to somewhere else. I don't know. You might have to do something. But let us know if you get the pop-up or whatever. Honestly, you got $3,600 in there. I don't understand why they wouldn't let you put it on. There's zero risk to them.
Yep.
You should be able to do as long as your account has been approved to trade options. I don't know. That's the literally the Nazi of all brokers out there. Probably I'd say Schwab is not too far off probably from there either. Honestly, I don't know about Vanguard. I think they're so medieval at this point. Nobody uses them. Okay, my sub account Ibkr is giving me an accurate margin impacts amounts, but not my main account. That's odd. Yeah, it is odd. Is it are both accounts margin accounts? Maybe they're not. Is one a margin account? Are they both margin accounts, or is one a what do you call it, Gerry? A
retirement account?
Yeah. The retirement account's no margin, so could be it. What premium did you collect for your 35 TQQ options? So that's been a while since I did that one. Let me go back and look here.
I got some two Septembers on.
Yeah, 35.
At 35. I believe I collected $1.27 each. And they just sit there. I'm not actively trading those. Usually you just sell them when the down day, and
Buy 'em
then
back on the up days.
buy them back on the up days, or just let them sit there. And if I need some room to put on something else, I'll just drain the profit from those and move into something else.
So I did some 60s and 50s, but those were not long dated. 8 days, you know, I mean, they weren't long dated, but I did. Okay, so here's some more here. 60, 55, but like I said, those are not long dated. TQQ is a 70. Okay, so here's a 35 here, and it was a 47 dayer. So yeah, 40. I have a 40 and a 35, and I got 72 cents for the 35, and I got $1.15 for the 40s. So people might say that's not good money, but honestly, the money going out to the Septembers is like, it's like $1.25 or something like that, wasn't it? Something like that for the 35s. For
Something
one,
like, no, it's a little lower. I think it's a little lower than that right now because I collected it.
Like
It's
that,
not
it was
bad.
a $400 maintenance requirement.
Yeah, it's not something that I would load up on. I just do it
I'll
just
load
to
up
have
on
it on
it,
there.
but yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about for me. I'm not
Yeah,
going
I mean, it
to
makes
just
sense.
have that.
You know, because it's long dated, so it just, yeah, just spread them out a little bit. You could caterpillar those out too with various strikes or whatever, you know. The less the DT is, the higher the strike, right? Give them more premium out of it. They approved me for level 2 somehow, even with 0 experience and less than 2K in my account. Yeah, well, so 2K in the account, she could technically put one on, probably with that, but yeah, I don't know. You have to try to put it on and see what they say. Let us know what they say. That's amazing, Jerry. I only bring home 4K a month, busting my ass full-time job. Well, he busts his ass too, the full-time job. He's just sitting at his desk all day.
Yeah, I need a new chair.
You need a Randy chair. Randy bought a lazy boy. That's what he's trading from now. Woohoo. Let's see. As they say, the first step is always the hottest. It'll get easier if you incur any losses, hopefully. Yeah, why would you incur any losses doing that? I mean, you know, versus some stocks go to 0, but if TQQQ went to 0, then we got bigger issues. So, but a stock could go to 0, and the markets could be fine, right? Here's Thumper again. Maybe rephrase MB's question. What percentage a month would you think you would feel comfortable making each month? Then figure out how large your account needs to be to support your expenses and all that. No, I kind of like it the way MB worded it, like money-wise, right? Because you kind of need the money, not the percentage. Like, who goes around saying, well, I need 10% to live? Nobody knows, right? Like, what that really equates to. If you say I need $4,000 to live a month, that makes sense, right? Unless I don't understand what he's saying.
He's just reverse engineering the question in a sense.
Probably busting my balls, honestly. Change the alias and count. Yeah, that's exactly right. It still shows up in some places, but in general, like on the platform, it will hide. I don't have the money in a Fidelity account yet. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Just at Gerry, at me, and that's probably all you need to do if you want. Damn, they approved me for level 2 without a phone interview or anything. Yeah, they probably saw that you're, hot Rebecca and said, yeah, we need to, approve her immediately.
They said, nice hair. Let's go for that.
Gerry said, we freaking approved you. You better call in, or you better freaking give us, DNA sample. Both are margin accounts. I opened up sub account to keep it separate, but it seems like a pointless thing to do now because every time I log in, it shows both accounts on main screen. That's interesting. I had 2 accounts with IB, and it was completely separate login and everything. So you should be able to keep them separated, completely different login. Maybe you linked them inside the portal or something like that. Okay, impressed with the amount you guys are making monthly. How are you able to turn over the play so quickly to book monthly? I haven't figured that part yet. So without knowing your strategy, and we've talked to you before, I've seen you in the comments and stuff, and you might even have DM'd either one of us. I mean, Gerry, you want let me think about you. Let me think about this one.
Well, I mean, you have to go back to the beginning of the stream, and we talked about how I maximize my maintenance margin and things like that. But it's basically finding things that are struggling, have missed earnings, have gone down on bad news, something like that, selling a put on it, and at the right time, because there's usually sometimes you'll get a leg down on a stock and it just appears weak and it just legs down again. So you sell weakness and you buy strength. That's really what it comes down to.
And I'm going to say this. I'll do some of what Gerry is talking about right there, but honestly, I don't even do that. I would say, 80% of the time, I don't even do that. What I'm doing is I'm just looking for solid companies, and I'm getting premium out there working for me. That's key. You got to have premium out there working for you, right? If the stock goes up the next day and it's up 50%, why not take it off and then do it all over again, right? So we're looking for that all the time, but you need premium working out there for you. If you don't have enough premium on, then you're not going to make as much, right? So it's always a balance, but
I think the big thing here is, though, I think HJ Stewart, I think you've shared in the Discord what you got, and I think you're doing 100% cash secured put. What me and Dave do, and Thumper and Randy and all, we all use Interactive Brokers, and we get 4-to-1 buying power. So there's no way I can get $3,000 a month if I had to just use cash to 100% secure the position.
So what would you have to cut it by 4?
Probably.
Okay, so take 6,000 away. How much was it?
3,700. So divide that by 4. What, 6, 7, 8, 7, $900 roughly?
Yeah, maybe that's in line with what H.J. Stewart's getting here.
Yeah, if you're getting about $900 on, well, I won't say that, but it's going to depend on whether you're using just cash only to 100% secure that trade or not.
Is it really divided by 4 if you're using 50% though?
Maybe not. You're getting too mathy. That's too much math.
It is too much math on a freaking Sunday. It's just, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but we can help you out too. We kind of need to see what you're doing too, but so the $6,000 I made back in January and February, I had my account was like $100,000 less than it is now. You know what I mean? So even though I made $6,000 back then, I made $6,000 in April with $100,000 more. So it's the same amount, right? And I'm not actually more aggressive. I'm not more safe. I can take that back. I am more aggressive. I'm not more safe because I have the more money in there. I actually have to be more aggressive because the premiums dried up a little bit because of the VIX, right? So, and I'm a little bit more aggressive too. But so that's kind of interesting, right? I'd probably be making a lot more. I'd probably be making $8,000, something like that. Anyways, most brokerages, as far as should I give out level 2, level 3, 4. Yeah, well, every broker has different levels too. Schwab has like 5 different levels, and level 0, which Fidelity doesn't even have. So, yeah, unless you have a lot of experience and you throw that you have like a net worth of this and you make this, you might have to go through an interview process, which honestly they didn't even do. 4 or 5 years ago, they didn't do an interview or anything like that. Maybe I don't know. I never had to do an interview. So you might have to if you don't have any experience and you're actually truthful on those questions. Also, my previous message wasn't regarding TQQ, just in options trading in general, lost in translation. I don't remember what you last said, buddy. Was that this one? Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so.
Charlie, let me think. I'm special. Oh yeah, you are special. Not special Eddie, not this special, but special. Special in our community. Mine is oh, I don't know. I think there's a way to unlink them because if you linked them, then there's got to be a way to unlink them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. Mine weren't linked, so. Thanks for covering Nusi and Jeppy. These have been nice additions. Yeah, I agree. I like both of those. I'm still building out Jeppy, but so we're getting down near the end. Once we get down to the end here, we'll call it. It's already been 2 hours, so my current video is apparently special. I got it. I looked like just a few hours ago, and there's no video there, so I'll have to go check it out, Dan. It's okay, Dave. Is always raining on my. I do not. He's a wet blanket. Won't let me buy stuff. Don't make videos on the crap that you buy. I won't bust your balls. Jeez. Let's see here. You know me. Gotta live a little. Yeah. Charlie. You want to come on next week? You got like cold feet. Let me know if you want to come on next week. Talk about the SPX a little bit. School us on SPX spreads that you do. Dave is gonna look like a cherry tomato on the AT. You guys do your own taxes? Yeah, I do my own taxes. I use Tax Act for mine. What do you use, Gerry?
I use H&R Block, and I've done it for probably since 2010 when I first started my business, and then I never went to anybody else because once one of those places has your information, it's kind of hard to switch over.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I do my own taxes, by the way, because once you try to use somebody else, it's hard to get back to where you were if you got complicated taxes anyway. The reason why Gerry uses HR Block and why everybody else uses HR Block is they want to get that freaking refund back. But if you have no refund, then why use HR Block? That's funny. That's the reason I used HR Block like when I was in my early 20s. I wanted to get my refund back like in one day. That's back when that wasn't electronic and crap. Oh, man. Show Dave's other channel some love. Yeah. That's my off-grid channel. I share a lot of personal crap there. It's funny how Dave is trying to understand our conversation. I guess. Just bust my freaking balls right in front of me. Thanks, guys. Look for y'all in the Discord. Hey, that's good. I don't know who you are. See, that's the problem. So many people have different names in the Discord what they have in here. You know what I mean? I need my fellow fire people to bust my balls. It's all good. Well, I'll definitely do that then. Yeah, that's what's happening. It makes sense. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So he basically is all a cash account.
Yep. That'll make it tougher.
So,
but it's still a good return.
Does that mean he's less than 25K?
No, he's if I recall correctly, he's way more than 25K. So he can definitely take care of that pattern day trading thing in IB and get a margin account, and maybe he needs to take 25.
Upgrade you to our margin account.
Well, yeah, maybe he needs to take 25 grand and start dabbling into interactive brokers.
Oh, he's not an IB. What? I don't know.
I don't think he's an IB.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can still get a margin account in any other broker too. They'll get rid of the PDT, a margin account's 25K technically with a SEC requirement, but I don't know. It's a little bit different for options, but still 25K margin account, right? This is if I try to sell a TQQ $35 strike, which expires in September, the spread is wide. Do you wait for the spread to narrow? Well, I mean, look at it because I don't think it was that wide when I looked at it. Wide load coming through, folks. September. Gerry.
If you're looking at it right now, it's probably wide.
Yeah, it's probably a little wider than what we'd expect. It's a double wide right now. Yeah, it's super wide. It's like a freaking double wide. 62 cents to 232. So
Yeah, you just gotta wait for
is,
market to open.
Yeah, wait for the market to open. And honestly, they're not going to actually thinning out for until like the first 30 minutes maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
How do I get back to the freaking screen I was on? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so just let it happen. Let maybe some volume come through. Of course, I don't know how many people are trading that, so maybe you might have to set your price and start high and then work it back. And if it goes lower than what you want to get out of it, then just take it off.
But I'd sell those on down days.
Yeah, sell it on a down day. And honestly, I don't want to necessarily day trade it, but that's kind of what happens, right? You sell it on a down day, the market goes up. Why not buy it back, right? That's what I've been doing anyway. And then the next day it goes down, or the next week it goes down, you just do it some more. I have some shorter dated ones that I can kind of get the premium out of. But Dave, I don't have SPX in a while. Okay. Selling puts, calls, leaves, PMCCs, and once in a while I buy options. 90% of the time I'm an option seller. Yeah. He does have some videos out there. Go ahead and take a look at some of his videos. He hasn't made one in a while, I don't think, on probably in the last few months on it, but he's super smart guy too. He knows the process. So if you're willing to come on next week anyway and still talk about it, I mean, you don't have to. I'm not trying to pressure you here.
Oh, he's pressuring you. He's only asked you like 4 times already, so no pressure.
I just think he'd be a great addition to talk to a different strategy and
Oh, for sure.
Experience with something that we don't. I've done SPX in the past, carrying the super trader and stuff, and it's a different ball game. It's like you talking about like that butt pucker that you were talking about earlier, the sphincter being all closed and stuff. Let's just say this: that frog won't even have a butthole in those things. Because they're serious. If there's a volatile stock, if there's also at 19 on bullish and to predict it, what? Saw a put at 18, get a sign, then I don't know.
If you're trying to build a position, yeah.
The thing is, though, it's like, I don't know. To me, like predicting something to be 60 by 2025 is like, it's just a hope and a dream, right? Like I would never do that. I don't know if that's your prediction or if that's somebody else's prediction or if that's an 8Ball's prediction or, a magician, a genie or whatever in the bottle. I don't know. I just don't bank on anything like that personally myself when it comes to stuff. But, getting in 19 and, getting out at 21, I mean, what's wrong with that? Still good money, right? How long it comes down to opportunity cost. 2025, you could be waiting around for 2025 and won't do a darn thing. It's opportunity cost. That's why I look at it. I had the same name problem Discord I have. Oh, okay. What? I have the same name problem. I recognize RoJ, but I don't. So what you're saying is your name here on YouTube is HS Funk. I was gonna say fuck you, but it's not fuck you. Funk PL. Is that what it is?
I would say HSL stands for something.
Right here. He's got a different name in Discord. His name here is Funk.
My guess is HSL stands for something, and it's a fun couple. So we'll see if I'm right.
You're the best at deciphering crap like that. I'm the worst. I'm trying to do it on the fly here with lights blaring on my face, but that's my excuse anyway. Okay, so that's good. I'll try to remember that because we have seen you in the Discord quite often lately, and I think you even were on Saturday night as well, or excuse me, Thursday night chat. So great live stream. Okay, she's probably cutting it early. All Good has she has to be in bed by this time. She's got her circadian rhythm going on here. Basically collecting premiums on volatility as it goes up and down. Did he say he was selling a CC?
No, he's talking about wheeling whatever stock he was that thinks he's going to do a 60. So, I mean,
yeah, okay, he did CC, so he's going to wheel. Yeah. What stock is it? What $19 stock is worth a shit? Is that, I guess, my question, right? Do you own any stocks?
Do I own any stocks at 19?
Do you know any $19 stocks that you'd want to wheel? Is I guess my question.
I get close. I got Rocket.
I don't know if I'd even wheel that. That's why Gerry makes 6% return. Oh man, basically click to read. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know of a lot of stocks down to the $19 I'd want to wheel. Wheeling. So look at Investing Sensei as an example. He hasn't been here in the last few weeks, but he's stuck right now. Everything that he was wheeling, because he's a wheeler, he was making a boatload of money wheeling all this stuff. Well, guess what? All of the stuff that he was wheeling is way down too far now, way down below, right? His cost basis. He can't make any money on the call side now. That's the problem with wheeling stuff that's questionable, right? He's making good.
Yeah, that's what I meant by, buying 100 shares just to do covered calls, and then, it has to be, there has to be a lot more to it than just, the thinking about covered calls, right? So it's, yeah, you run into that problem, because a lot of these meme stocks like your Neos and things like that, they have great premiums on both sides, right? But they can also tank 30%, and then you're stuck holding the bag.
Mm-hmm. Not making any money on the call side. Yeah, that's what Investing Sensei is running into right now. And the only way out of that is to put more capital in, take a loss, or put more capital in and average down, which is risky because it's already risky position to begin with, right? So you definitely, in my opinion, and I get it, people don't have big accounts or whatever, but there is still safe stocks like that have, Bank of America's safe, right? It's pretty low. It's not a high price stock, right?
It's getting up there. It's in the mid 40s now, I think.
Last time I looked at it was $6.
Yeah.
2011 or so. It was like $6. I could have bought it all damn day. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, there's got to be some safe stocks out there. T's pretty safe, right? $30 stock. It's not bad. I'd wheel T. T would be a good wheel opportunity, in my opinion.
I'd agree.
Yeah, okay. Charlie got them. Yeah, he does got Honda videos. He got an R8 too, I think. Story for you. Sold a pin 67 put ARP April 30. Stock tank 16% after earnings. Yeah. My brother hold the bag in that thing. After earnings went to 66. Yeah, I've been watching it. Hour before closing Friday, I rolled to May 7th, 64 now. IB assignments shares. C7 started a short position. I'm not following this, Gerry.
No, it's a little too much, but yeah, I'm not sure. But
rolled May 7, 64. Now IB assignment shares. So he got assigned?
Yeah, it looks like stock tank went 1 hour before closing Friday. I rolled to May 7, 64. Maybe you didn't roll. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe you still had that 67 put on that you thought you might have rolled.
Maybe you rolled one contract and you had two on.
Yeah.
You could have done that. Or I guess my question is if it so the other thing here is when do you get notified of the assignment if you're going to be signed early? So he wasn't assigned early here either. It doesn't say he was assigned early. When did you roll it, number one? So he rolled it. He says he rolled it. Wait. He doesn't say when he rolled it. He says before closing on Friday, but my thing, yes, maybe you didn't. Did you close it down? Did you sure you closed it down and you saw the position go to zero? Because maybe you kept one contract on by mistake or something.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is maybe you sold the May 7th 64 without closing the April 30th 67. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. But, that's part of the reason why I don't play earnings either. You just don't know with these stocks. It's especially, like Pinterest was like, it was sort of a COVID play, right? So,
people stay at home Pinteresting, but the biggest thing about earnings, and I can't say it enough, it's literally a crapshoot. It's 50% shot's going to go up, 50% shot's going to go down, regardless of how much research you do. Doesn't matter. You can do all the research in the world, unless you have insider information, you don't know anything about which direction that stock is going to go on earnings. They can blow out earnings and the stock can still tank 10%. I've seen it so many times. They can have the worst earnings in the world and it can go up 10%. I've seen that too. So earnings, honestly, the best way to play earnings is a straddle. But it's risky because it has to make a big enough move to knock out the other side. In this case here, that 10% move probably would have worked with a straddle, honestly. But I've never done it, but that is the true way to play it because you don't have to worry about the 50-50 move, right? It just has to move a big direction in one way or the other, and you'll make money. But okay, yeah, good night, gentlemen, blah, blah, blah. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Thanks for spending your Sunday evenings. Just love it. Yeah, okay, thanks a lot. We see you in the Discord. So I have 3 positions and should only have 1 put. So strange. So maybe, wait, is this the guy that jacked up? Yeah, so maybe take a screen. You have to go back and look at your history or something, but it sounds like you didn't take him off all the way. You maybe left one on or something is what it sounds like.
I would definitely look in your trade history for sure.
Yeah. And did you use the roll option? Just curious there too.
Yeah.
The roll option, do you know if it pre-populates the exact amount of position that you have?
I don't know. Well, I've only had one position, one contract to roll, so I don't know if it would. It does put in one, so.
I'm just checking right now, actually. No, it pre-populated it with the correct amount, but I mean, I don't know if it's, check it. But it did pre-populate. I had 2 contracts that pre-populated too, so you don't have to use the roll option, but it helps. My channel slowly turned towards away from, many of my finance videos aren't there. Just made options. Let us know if you want to come on. I've only asked once. Gerry is right. Of course Gerry's right. HSF. Fun couple. You're right. You are darn right. Gerry, maybe you should be running the show, and then you can try to decipher on the fly. I want to be that pink Gerry. What are we talking about here, Willis?
What are you talking about, Willis?
I could go a bunch of ways. Does anyone know if doing options? There's the weekly Cody busting balls here. No, I disagree with Neo. Honestly, every time I look at it, the premium is garbage on it too. I guess I'm just trying to be try too safe on it. Like where I want to be is just no premium. I don't understand it myself. Yeah, we look at your history. Look at your history. Look at the HTML file. You can download, report, and see where you. It says auto exercise in my trade log, but I rolled for sure. Yeah. It can't exercise if there's nothing on.
See, here's the thing. Did you roll to a call? Did you buy? We'd have to see the actual trade log to know where something messed up there. Because if you bought a call and they exercised that, you'd be short.
True.
So it's kind of hard to say.
You need to we need to reverse engineer the logs. And more weird that they assigned me a long position and a short one. A long and a short. So maybe you're right.
Maybe he accidentally rolled to a buy call or something weird like that.
Definitely need to make sure when you're using that roll option on IB and stuff that you have, it's doing a sell, it's doing a buy, it's closing down this correctly. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you did it manually or used the roll option in there, but if you use like the strategy builder and you're doing a spread or you're doing, in this case here, a bag order, then you could get stuff like that backwards pretty darn easy.
Yeah.
Gerry's screwed that up. I've screwed it up.
That's why I don't like using the roll option either. I'll go in, I'll close, buy to close, the loss option, the loss position, and then I'll sell to open the next one. I won't use that roll option.
Yeah, because honestly, rolling that's all it is. It's just closing one and opening one. That's all it really is, right? So 100 shares long and 100 shares short. That does not make any sense at all, Gerry.
Mm-mm.
That's impossible. It's possible in two separate accounts because I've done it. That's the only way to do it. That's the reason why it's sometimes good to have two separate accounts. You cannot go long and short a stock in the same account.
Yeah, you can't be on both sides.
You can do it with options, but you can't do it with common. So what you're saying is one shows 100 shares and one shows a minus 100? That's impossible. Is it maybe still settling over the weekend? IB's usually settled by now. It's usually settled on like Saturday between the, Saturday night or whatever. By Saturday morning, it's settled usually. I did use the roll option. Okay, so use the roll option. I always use it, so that's why. Okay, so he's used it before. He's got experience there. Why I was shocked when you see shares assigned to me and then also a short position. I have to call them tomorrow and close. Yeah, take a screenshot of it. I want to see 100 shares and minus 100 shares in the same position. Have you restarted? Just curious, because IB is crazy about restarting at least once a day to kind of refresh the positions and all that crap. That's my best guess. Sometimes I'll show both legs. Well, PMCCs could kind of get weird on you because if the short call exercises, you need to exercise the long call manually to satisfy the short position. But that's not what's going on here.
Yeah.
If I call them, I gotta wait an hour on the phone. Well, I mean, send us a screenshot. I want to see. What's in the box? PBI beat their earnings and tanked. What is PBI? You know what that one is, Gerry? PBI.
Pitney Bowes, the old like stamps.com type of thing, but they're hanging on by a thread.
Oh God, it's like a Kodak of the world.
Yeah, basically.
Man. I'm sorry, but I would want to be down at the $3 level on that thing. And even that's probably too aggressive. Let me look.
The thing is they've actually not performed very bad as a company over the past few years. The only problem right now is they've had negative earnings. So
6-year decline.
Well, no, I'm talking about as a business.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
they've had increasing
poor management or what?
Yeah, probably. They've had increasing revenues, which is weird the way the stocks, but it's something I probably wouldn't mess with because it's showing negative earnings now. So,
and honestly, it's let me see. It looks like it got jacked up in the Wall Street bet thing, maybe. Possibly.
It probably did.
Even though the short float is not very high on it, but maybe tomorrow morning they'll disappear. Hopefully, maybe. Did you restart? Just curious. Restart IB. It literally, it's almost it's required actually. You can't even run any of the API scripts like that unless you restart. There's just kind of a trick to do it too. I can restart without having to re-log in. It's kind of a trick to do that. Maybe I'll make a video. Let's see. You don't know what pink. I know what pink is.
Effing Dave.
Shouldn't be saying it on this live stream. Dave, I got a C-19 vaccine. I'm going to turn into an F-150 pickup truck. No, you might turn it into a Cybertruck, though. What does that have to do with an F-150, Jerry?
Nothing.
Yeah, Dave. The new vaccine turned you into a Ram. Shit. Mine turns me into a 427 Cobra. How about that, folks? Jerry, what does yours turn you into?
Mine turns me into nothing because I ain't touching that thing.
Yours turns you into a Buick Regal with a vinyl top. IB has a bad habit of changing their quantity on order entry. I've never seen that.
Me
Randy.
either.
It does not change it. What would be nice is if it changed it to automatically your position size automatically, which it doesn't do. But, it is what it is. Shit, Jerry. Passive income, no kids. Love that. Never heard that before. What's that?
That's the pink.
That's pink? Oh, shit. I'm pink, Jerry.
You're pink, Dave. In more ways than one.
I'm pink. One position is long in main account. That's the reason why. It's two separate accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. You can't do it in the same account, but that's the reason why it's sometimes good to have two accounts, because if you wanted to go long and short the same stock, you can do it. It's a hedge, right? It sounds like you got to screenshot everything and post to Discord so they can dissect. Not everything. Gee. Just 99% of it. Just a little bit better than birth control. What's in the box? Yeah. All right. Down to the bottom, getting down there. 7. Yeah, exactly. It isn't Schrodinger's cats for damn sure. Jerry, help me out.
No idea.
No, I don't screw around with Dogecoin. I thought that wasn't that a meme coin anyway? Isn't it a meme coin?
It's been around for like 6 or 7 years. I read the quick wiki on it, but it's nothing I'd be buying.
Looking forward to VT earnings. See, that's funny. It's the day that showed up in my freaking Schwab account, it blew up my Python script. I'm like, what the? I had to troubleshoot, and I saw
got rid of it
in there. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, and I sold it immediately. But it's funny how much that's popping up now. Like it must be solid, right? Yeah.
I just kept an eye on it ever since it spun off. I sold out of Pfizer before they spun it off, but I kept it in my mind, and I was watching it, and it just kept falling from like $18 all the way down to 13. And when it hit in the 13s, I bought a couple leaps, just a couple cheap leaps, and we'll see.
That's probably not a bad idea, because I think you said they're super cheap too, right?
Yeah, it's 2 leaps was like $600.
Yeah, that's doable for me, I think. Even if you lose it all, it's not gonna you're not gonna freaking be eating ramen or something.
Exactly.
I just don't know anything about the company. I didn't really look into it, the spinoff or anything like that. Somebody was saying that, somebody in the comments or whatever in my video, but saying that PFE was supposed to cut their dividend too. They didn't.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I've opened the app several times a day on the phone. Yeah. No, you're fine. You must have screwed something else up because you're in 2 separate accounts. So you probably had options in both, right? Is my guess. Or you bought common in both or something. You had options in both, so you got to sign in one. So I'm a little confused here because he's talking about these one short here, one long here, but you can't roll across accounts. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to roll something in one account. So you talk about one issue. You must have had an issue in one account. You can't have issue in both. Jerry, I'm hurting. Did you hear Gavin Newsom's being recalled? he's
He's
going
not.
to be recalled, or they're trying to attempt to recall?
They're trying to attempt it. He's not being recalled.
Because that's old news, Cody. That's been going on for like months now.
They're still in the process.
Yeah. All right, we've peaked Matt Money's fun meter at this point. He's done. Stick a fork on him. He's done. I just re-signed my position. I'm like, oh wow.
Nice.
I'm 53 and retired at the end of May. Thanks for the helpful videos. Hey, there you go. We're all looking to get there. So congratulations there. Divorcing that job and taking 100%. So yeah, no, congratulations. End of May. So yeah, he's short. Well, he or she, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. It's scary too, but let me see here. Congrats. How many years investing did it take you? That's a good question. What is meant by election is officially happened in November before it was all speculation. No, they've been trying to recall him for quite a while, ever since he's screwed up and screwed the pooch on COVID, eating that freaking French laundry and all that crap. 500% return on Dogecoin. Doggy coin. Is that the same thing as Dogecoin, or just calling it something else?
Who knows? It might be. They might have a doggy coin.
They could, yeah. Kitty cat coin. Make $100 off of options premium and feed the dog, Dave. Feed the dog, Dave. Come get. I don't know. 427. Yeah. We're down at the bottom, folks. 2 hours and 30 minutes. We'll call it here. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Gerry's channel. It's down in the description. And join the Discord. It's free. There's a lot of information in there. Plus, you got access to Gerry, myself, Randy, Thumper, and a bunch of other growing community, a bunch of other people that were in here as well. Yep. Matt Money, Thumper, Stock Ninja. So, okay, we'll end it out. Yeah, there is no holiday next weekend. It's the end of the month. There's a holiday, though. But it is Mother's Day next weekend. So make sure you reach out to your mom and, have a 10-hour conversation. So, Gerry, you want to say anything?
No? Thanks for being here. Like you said, join the Discord. If you got questions, there's a bunch of people other than us that can definitely help you too. We're also in there, but subscribe to Dave's Hidden Off Grid channel.
Yeah, trying to grow that channel to 1,000 subs before I fire next year in April. That'd be nice. I'll get the watch hours on the trail probably, but I want to have it to 1,000 by then. But anyways, y'all, let's have a great week, and let's have a great another month in May. Sell in May and go away until after Labor Day. Let's not make that true. So we'll see y'all next week. See you later, everybody.